the story. The first direction I had Sigourney realising that the only way that the people in this monastery could survive was if she herself killed herself. I had it really simple, which was there was a wheat field in front of this cathedral inside this huge dome space, and there's a fire in the wheat field, and she just walks very quietly into the fire, and you just see her back walking away from us, and that would have been the end of the movie. The studio really liked that, but they wanted the series to continue, so they said, look, can't you find a way to have her survive? So I said, sure. She has this friend who's a monk. There's this ambiguous sort of sexual frisson going on between them. Nothing ever happened in my version. It was all about what could have happened if people made different choices in their lives. And there's a weird, he goes back through his medieval books, he finds these pictures, he sees exorcisms. They find a way of, both, so it feels in a scientific way, of pushing it out of her body in a weird way before it has time to fully grow and burst through the chest. So they get it in time, like an abortion, like an exorcism, whichever way you want to go. But it's sufficiently agile as a creature to go inside him. It must find a host. It must seek warmth straight away. And I had the same ending where he walked into the fire. We took both versions to Sigourney. She said, well, I don't want to live for another one of these series again. I'm sick of doing them. Just kill me. I like the first version. And so she said to the studio, I'm not going to do it.
How they were going to pull off the wooden planet. But generally it was pretty good. Some people were scratching their heads.
I had a hard time with, because I'm so grounded in physics and reality, and even though we're doing science fiction, things follow the laws of physics. Atmosphere has to build up over hundreds and thousands of feet to get enough weight to have thick enough, dense enough atmosphere for us to breathe.
We could never quite, get him to explain or ever figure out a reason why this planet would be wood or should be wood or anything like that. Always liked the idea, but felt you've got to have some kind of logic to this stuff. There's a wooden planet in space. Why is it wood? How did it get there? Where do they get the trees? There were just too many questions that it raised.
And then there was also an element that I remember of the alien. At one point, it comes in and it sort of taunts Ripley, and it's got the body of what ended up becoming the Bishop character. But it's twisted his head off, and it's actually taunting her with it, and in a way it's almost like threatening her with what its capabilities are. And at that point, I remember it just seemed like it added too much of a human element, sort of like a human agenda to the alien, which also seemed out of character and out of touch with what we've seen already.
Not a huge amount of it survived in what became of Alien3. Certainly the sense and meaning of it was totally ceased to make any sense at all based on what the original inspiration had been. There was nothing left of the world, which was, I felt, very unique. I'd never seen anything like that in film before, and I thought it could be very powerful, and it fitted into, the personal themes that seemed could fit very well for her character in terms of her stage in life and where she was at. And then, of course, the monks became bald-headed convicts. So only thing that really remained substantially was that there was this creature within her, and even that wasn't really explored in any meaningful way.